I am so looking forward to this interview. This panelist is somebody very special to us because the whole time we've been talking about blending fitness and mindset and nutrition, and that's what, exercise, mindset, and nutrition, and that's what creates a good fitness plan. And now how these industries are coming together to do that. I want to talk to you about somebody really, really special. Kate Golden is the executive director for the Well Lounge at the Newtown Athletic Club. Everyone in the industry knows who the NAC is. They're one of the biggest and best and incredible clubs. Let me give you some statistics so you can understand what Kate's responsibilities are. The Newtown Athletic Club is 250,000 square feet. 250,000 square feet. The family-owned fitness center located in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, 30 miles north of Philadelphia. It includes a 12,000-foot facility for fitness, 6,000 square foot wellness center, basketball courts, 25-meter lap pool, 300 hours of group fitness classes, a kids club, a 35,000 square foot children's complex. Most gyms aren't 35,000 square feet. A 41,000 square foot sports training center, a 4-acre outdoor resort style swim complex, 4 acres, and a complete full-service restaurant and bar inside the club. She also oversees the Horsham Athletic Club, which is located 30 miles from the NAC, and that's inside a corporate center. That's 48,000 square feet of fitness facility with a large fitness center, 4 group fitness studios, luxury locker rooms, and childcare management licensed by a preschool tenant. So there's a lot of responsibility there. And let me tell you about why we're talking to Kate today. She oversees the wellness operations inside the Newtown Athletic Club. And her responsibilities are increasing revenue through the wellness partnerships and programs, which includes running a physician-owned med spa, developing and launching new membership types for Newtown Athletic Club. That's going to include physicians that oversee your health and well-being as a concierge service medicine. That's unbelievable. I mean, you're going to have a doctor on staff that's responsible for your health when you join that facility. I mean, that's what she's putting in place right now. And that's what's going on right now. It's going to have services for members and non-members. It's a 360-degree whole wellness experience that doesn't exist. And this is what we've been talking about. This is where the industries are moving and coming together, and they realize this is how we do it right. Kate's co-chair in the NAC's fundraising efforts for Augie's Quest, too. One of the greatest philanthropy opportunities that people have there, Augie's Quest for Autism, So it's beautiful what's going on over there. And we are so lucky right now to hear from somebody who was honored by IRSA as the rising star, and they recognize what Kate's potential is for this, not just the industry, but the entire world, because they're leading the way with this. Log on to the web and look them up. Take a really good look at what that club's all about. So I don't want to take up any more of Kate's time. I want to get right into it and find out, how are you doing this? This is a huge order that nobody's doing yet. You are definitely a forerunner in the combination of health, medical, and wellness. So let's hear from Kate. Here we are. Welcome, Kate. I'm glad you're able to join us for this.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here and honored that you selected to chat with me today.
Well, you are unique, like we've talked about. We've been talking to all types of experts from the medical industry, the fitness industry, mindset industry. We got people from the school boards on here. And one thing they all agree on is we got to bring these industries together to work on the solution. And what are your thoughts? Do you believe that the medical industry, nutrition industry, and exercise industry can actually start working together?
I do. I think in some areas of the country, we probably work together more than other areas, or even in our towns and communities. We've been working, I'm from Newtown, which is about 25 miles outside of Center City, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And so we've been partnering with different healthcare systems for, I would say, the last, 6 or 7 years. So we have partnerships where our healthcare systems come in and give education, they do free screenings, and we normally do those events where we open to the community. So it's for our members, but then we also open to the community. So people who don't belong to our clubs can come in and still receive that education from our healthcare systems. So I think that there's other club operators out there who are doing similar things to try and connect with the healthcare and really build partnerships so that we can deliver better medical fitness programs. So I really think that when you have those strong connections and strong partnerships, then we can show our value to the healthcare as the medical fitness professionals and deliver programs with results and outcomes and show how sophisticated our team members really are. I think that it's more of an education that our teams are, they have their bachelor's, they have their master's degrees, they have track records of helping people get off blood pressure medication, lose weight. And our fitness facility works with a registered dietitian. We have one on staff. And we also accept health insurance, which I think is a game changer for our industry. Although, to be honest, most of the healthcare system is trying to figure out how to get more into the cash-based business. So it's kind of ironic that we're all thinking like, hey, let's get into this insurance-based business. So we do kind of look at that both ways because it's definitely out of your wheelhouse. So when, you look at what your core competencies are at a health club setting, it's normally not insurance and billing insurance and tracking insurance and tracking down payers. So I think that there's like this happy medium of all working together to provide education and then, doing the insurance reimbursement even or accepting insurance is definitely the next phase, I think, for health clubs. And I think we're starting to get more into it.
And that's a really important point. I didn't think of that, but the insurance companies may be the key to this whole process because the medical doctors want people to get well, right? The fitness clubs want people to get well, but if the insurance companies can then make it happen, because it's a lot easier to pay for somebody's wellness plan, whether it's $200 a month or whatever it may be, than heart medication, which is $10,000 a year, Yeah.
So I think, and one of the questions we're going to talk about really dives deeper into that. My background is HR. And so I did benefits and benefit claim management for a while. And so what we used to do at my employer was we looked at all the claims for the previous year and then we managed them monthly to see like where all of our claims were so that all of our wellness programs aligned with our claims. So for example, we had a young female workforce. People were having babies, but then when they were having babies, they had complications because they didn't take care of themselves. So then we created all these programs to help people during their pregnancy and even pre-pregnancy, just when you're thinking about it, how your health should be during that planning phase and then we could watch year over year when you put those plans in place and those wellness programs based on your claims, we could watch our claims drop. So, hey, last year we had 20 pregnancies, 10 of them were on bed rest. Now we put all these programs in place and now we're only seeing like 3 to 4 people on bed rest and we're seeing 1 or 2 the next year. So I really do think personally that the way for us to really make an impact anywhere is through the insurance companies. But insurance companies are insanely developed and they're different from one county to another county and the coverage. Right. And so it's really complicated. So I think, whoever can master that would really win because you want employers to buy into it. Right. So, one of my objectives for 2022 is in 2021 at the Newtown Athletic Club, we are launching a concierge medicine program where you can have a physician oversee your health club membership and really help you manage your outcomes and results and your goals. And I really see that going to the next level if I can partner with employers, right? So instead of just like corporate memberships where we're giving access, if you look at your claims as an employer and see where they are, and then you can actually, one of the largest expenses is the emergency room. And so, especially when you have a younger workforce with younger kids, you don't know what to do. You just go to the ER or you go to urgent care. And that's a big ticket item for an employer to pay. And so if you could actually give your employees access to an ER doc or a concierge physician that, hey, this is where you call and you can figure out that model that, hey, you're calling him, you're not going to the ER unless you're having a heart attack, a true medical emergency. Then I really think we could partner more and give more outcomes and help people manage their health insurance claims a lot better.
That's incredible. And let me ask you a question. Let's say I was a member there and this is in place and I have access to that doctor. So I can actually come in and say, I work out 4 days a week. So on Thursday, I'm going to schedule blood work. And then I can get it while I'm coming in. I get my blood work done and then go work out.
Yeah, well, we would draw your blood. So we have nurses on staff too, because we we opened up a wellness center, and so we have nurses for a med spa, and so we would draw your blood, but we would still send it out.
Right, but I don't have to go anywhere to have my blood drawn. Like I don't have to set an appointment with a doctor on another day.
No,
it's right in with my regular routine. Like that alone is preventative right there.
Yeah.
You're doing blood work. You find out somebody's got high cholesterol. Now they can go meet with the dietitian.
Yeah. And part of it would be like that you would pull all this blood work and you would have, we would still use your insurance. So you would bill your insurance separately, like LabQuest would, or wherever you go, whatever's covered under your health insurance. And then we would get the results directly back to us so that our physician can, look at your results and make a plan with you, or just say like, hey, you're doing everything right. Congratulations. What else? What are your goals? Because some people coming into our club are relatively healthy. And so some of them, they have great numbers, but they actually want to get to this next level of fitness. Right. And so you have both realms, people who want to get to that next level, like the ultimate fitness. They want to run Ironmans. They want to figure out what their peak performance is. And then you also have people coming in the doors who, are too scared to walk through a commercial club's doors. And so one of our initiatives is to get those people to come into our wellness center and meet with a physician or your registered dietitian appointment. And so you would meet with them and not just like go into the club and see a salesperson. So you're really coming in for that first appointment with, and more people are comfortable because everyone has to go see a doctor at some point. So It's more of like an avenue to draw those people into our club still and really hold their hand through the process.
That's awesome. I mean, that's a big problem nationwide. People are reluctant to come into a gym. They have a preconceived notion on what's on the other side of that door. They don't want to walk through. They have all reasons not to, excuses, and being reluctant is natural. Whether the pandemic was around or not, it's always been part of the problem. Is we're afraid to come in. We're like, can you identify with that feeling that some people have?
Yeah. So, when I was in high school, I was overweight. I was probably around 200, 210. That was like the last time I actually remember being at the doctor's office, and they, would always tell me I should lose weight. And that's what they would tell me, right? So I should just lose weight. And it took my senior year of high school, and I saw a picture, and I was the size of my stepmom and my mom, or my stepmom and my sister. So I was standing in front of them, and I was like, I was a happy-go-lucky person. I didn't mind being chubby. And I was like, wow, I should do something about that. So I just started walking, right? I was too insecure to go to a gym. Eventually I joined the YMCA and I kept the weight off the whole time. So I think I lost like 60 pounds that year. It was my senior year by literally not eating Oreos dipped in, Jiffy peanut butter after school, and then sitting on the couch and watching cartoons, or Saved by the Bell. So, I started walking and exercising more and being more active. And then I started joining my local YMCA where I felt comfortable, and I would only do cardio. And so I lost the 60 pounds. I pretty much kept it off the whole time. And then after I had my son, I lost the weight again, right? I kept active. I kept healthy. I knew I never wanted to go back to that. But when I joined the Newtown Athletic Club, I joined as the HR lady. That's what we called me. So I was HR. And so our club's pretty large, right? We're a 250,000 square foot fitness facility. It is, our fitness center alone is around 15,000 square feet. And so we have a mezzanine where you can walk out from the front, you can walk out to a mezzanine, and then it overlooks this gorgeous fitness center and a 4-acre pool complex. And I remember walking out to that mezzanine and being like, I am not going down the stairs. It was scary. It was so intimidating. And so I just hopped on an elliptical and started moving. And I even remember being like, oh, I hope I know how to work this machine. I just normally walked on the treadmill, but the ellipticals were up there. So I got on and that's all I did. And I was too scared. I was, back to my 135, 140, I was at a healthy weight and relatively still healthy and active, but it was scary still. And I think that, my girlfriend here, our salon director at the time, her name's Kim Levins, she texted me the next day and said, hey, come meet me on the floor. And I was like, oh no, I I was way too intimidated. I think I'm just going to stay on the mezzanine. Do you want to work out up here? And so she said, no, I'll come and get you. So she came and met me at the front after we were done our work. And she met me right by the front door. And then she walked me downstairs and did a whole workout with me. And I remember like my heart racing. Like we were on the floor and I was just like, oh my goodness, so nervous. Like everyone's going to look at me. Like, do I know what I'm doing? And so she did workouts with me. And the whole time she introduced me to other people. And she's not even this super outgoing person by any means. She's,
right.
You know, she's actually more reserved. Like she's not like super outgoing. So, but she's super sweet. She knows people and she's a good friend. So she just would introduce me to somebody. And then introduced me to another member and then another employee. And by the end of my workout, I had like 10 new people that I didn't know before. And now I knew, and I got a really good workout in. She's in really good shape. So
that's fantastic.
So it was fun. And then I went back with her the next day. Right. But she kind of had to keep on inviting me to come down so I would feel comfortable. And then eventually like I would make another friend and go down with somebody else. And so when we started even designing our new programs in this wellness center, you know, getting someone to come in your door is the first step. We can't offer everybody a job to come into our door. You know, that would be good. But we have to get them in somehow and in a comfortable setting. So that's where the physician, the registered dietitians, health coaches kind of come in because they're not coming in for a sales pitch. They're not coming in just for a tour to see how amazing we are, which we are amazing. I'm not going to lie. But you really, and then once you're here, then what, right? So we make you a plan and we tell you this is what you should do. And, you know, we do that every day. Hey, you should go meet a trainer. You should do the 2 free workouts with us. And then, you know, maybe you'll buy training. If you do, we'll keep meeting you every day. And then if you don't, you know, good luck. And
right.
So to me, it was more of like, all right, we need a program where you can have that friend. And so our health coaches will actually be your friend. So if you sign up for, say we have studios that are branded. So we have what we call our yoga studio is branded as the practice. And the whole goal of our mind body area is that you feel the mind body area before you even go into the class. And so everything is, you know, strategically designed and really that studio experience that you might see in New York City on Fifth Avenue. You know, like if you've ever been to Fifth Avenue, you kind of like know when you're approaching Louis Vuitton store because it's like outside, or you know when you're approaching Gucci. You know, like you can tell by the design of the buildings.
Yep.
And that's really what we did. Like, you know, you were designing, like you're entering into this mind body area. And so we call it the practice. And so we have new programs called like the Well Practice. And so you enter through the Well Lounge, which is our wellness center, and you just come weekly to the same yoga class, but our health coach will go to the class with you. So you first meet them, you build that relationship with them, they're your friend, and then the friend will go to class with you. And so if there's, hopefully you could get more than one person, but if there's not, it's okay. Right. So you could have like 2 people in the same class. You could have 1 person that comes to that class. But the goal is that you really have that individualized, build a friendship. And then that health coach's job is to, you know, give you a new friend. So they're going to introduce you to other people, introduce you to the instructor. And then each week they're going to keep on giving you more friends so that by the end you're good to go meet Bob. Right. Hey, next week Bob's coming to class. You're going to go meet Bob at class and kind of like help facilitate that. Because I like think of sometimes my son, you know, when the first day he goes to camp, he might not meet a friend. Well, like sometimes that does not change when you're an adult. Right. You know, if you're shy or if you don't know where to begin or you're in an uncomfortable situation, it's the same thing as that little kid. The same thing that we teach our camp counselors, that you have to make sure that you're scanning, making sure that all the kids have a friend. If they don't, you're engaging with them to give them another friend. This is the same thing. We may be adults, but we're intimidated sometimes and we're scared and uncomfortable. And it really does sometimes take that, you know, that extra initiative to guide people into making these right decisions and these healthy decisions to choose fitness or to, you know, partner it with nutrition. Sometimes that's all it takes. So we're hoping we're going to engage with, you know, mixing that health club and healthcare settings together. And we're looking forward to it.
That was an amazing answer because I thought this interview was going to go in the way that you're the expert on health and wellness. You're the director of health and wellness over there. So we were going to talk about exercise and nutrition. And yet that whole riff that you just ran on was all about mindset. And mindset is the third leg here. It's fitness is the exercise, nutrition, and mindset. And mindset was what prevents us from moving forward. It's what holds us back. And you have a solution to what, you know, the average person's going through before they even walk through the door over there. And that's amazing. And just identifying the fact that people feel that way.
Yeah. Well, I think, I came here as an HR lady. I had no fitness background, right? So I wasn't an athlete. I wanted to be the Philly fanatic when I grew up. Like I wanted, I was trying to be the mascot. I wasn't trying to be the all-star player. And there's a lot of people who kind of identify as that. If we only penetrate 18% in the country, but in Pennsylvania we penetrate 16% of our market. The NAC's a little bit different. We penetrate like 20% of our market. But still, there's all these people who, if only 20% are coming here, there's 80% of people who are, why aren't they coming? And
right.
To be honest, most of the time it's because that they're, too scared or they feel like they don't belong.
Right.
And it is their mindset. We've been the experts, and our industry has done a phenomenal job over the past, 40 years, 50 years, however long we've been around, of being the experts in fitness, right? Yeah. But we've also been the experts in fitness for the people who love fitness, right? Who just they naturally come to us because they want to be there. They're athletes. They believe in it. They already know that makes them feel good. That's their mental health therapy sometimes. That's what they already believe in. And so I think we did a really good job of that. And I do think that part of, COVID kind of taught us that, with the whole theory that exercise is not essential when it 100% is,
right.
That was kind of like a slap in the face for us that, what are you talking about that we're not essential? And some of the arguments were that exercise is essential, right? But the gyms weren't, right? You can go for a walk outside. You could do something somewhere else. You didn't have to come to our health clubs to have exercise. And you could look at it two ways, that maybe you're right. Maybe I could go for a walk, right? But when I was doing Zumba 4 to 5 times, 6 times sometimes, not gonna lie, I love my Zumba, going from that and having the access to all the strength training to professionals when I had questions about my form or, should I do a push-pull day? I have all these experts on staff, and my background's not fitness. So I have a whole team of people who that's what they're an expert in. And then you have the people who, then I started walking. I'm like, my walking outside, and even though I did it 2-3 times a day sometimes, did not equivalent, it didn't equate at all to my Zumba. So right. It was, it depends. Someone can't say it's not essential when you don't, it is essential for most people, or I would say 80 to 90% of the people who are coming. And you kind of just took it away from them. And that was their mental health. A lot of people from our members, that was the biggest thing. When they couldn't come to our club, they needed to, not just, it's not about looking good. And most people associate gyms with looking good. And that's not at all what it's about. It's about feeling good inside, keeping yourself healthy, and then really keeping your whole mind and body healthy.
Yeah. And what's really important about that too is if we stop for a second and think, all right, they took that away from me. I can do it on my own, but all of a sudden you're not doing it on your own. And that's part of the problem. This summit isn't I choose health clubs or I choose a membership. This is I choose fitness. We don't care if people raise their hand and say, I choose fitness and I'm going to go walk, or I'm going to mountain bike, or I'm going to get on that machine in my basement and start moving again. We do know one thing is once they plug in and do it with other humans, it's much more fun. You're now accountable. You get motivation from each other. So gyms are absolutely the best way to do it. And to say they're not essential was really hard for people to understand. I mean, they had businesses on that list that were essential, that like liquor stores. You can go to a liquor store, but you can't go to a gym. Made no sense.
They had strip clubs open in some states and gyms closed. I was like, what?
Yeah,
then she only gets to exercise, not everybody. That's not fair.
That's to go down a rabbit hole. But I saw a priest started taking his clothes off while he was doing a sermon. He goes, oh, strip clubs are okay, but churches are not. And that was
it's so crazy. Around. Yeah, the whole thing was a mess, I think. Personally.
But we've learned a lot from it. We've learned from it. And like you just said, people realize how much we need each other. People need people. And an environment like a health club is a community, and a community can help each other a lot better than doing it on your own. And that brings us to the next part, was the nutrition part of this. You guys have a program in place where you've got licensed dietitians on staff, but how important is nutrition when you walk into the supermarket and everything you're given to buy is processed and fast food and junk food? How do we get that message across that that's important as well?
I mean, I hate to say it, but most people still know, what's healthy for you and what's not, right? Like you're educated. I
Right.
mean, I would say, if you're maybe in the inner city, maybe you're not educated as not, like in different parts of the country, but, nutrition, making those right decisions is, 80% of the problem sometimes. You
Yeah.
have people who can exercise all day long, but if you're eating more than you're burning off,
Right.
it's not going to be as healthy. Or even if you are, and you could be like somebody who exercises all the time, you look good. I'll never forget this girl at my last company. She was super thin. She walked to work every day, so that's kind of like how she got her exercise. She wasn't really into fitness either, but she ate like insane, like McDonald's, and not even the good, like French fries, cheeseburgers, Big Macs, fried chicken sandwiches, and just because, that's why I always say that gyms aren't about the aesthetic side, right? It's about, you have to exercise, you have to eat right for your health, for your heart health, for your brain health, for your body to function properly. And I do think we know it, but I think I would probably go back to the mindset, right? Like I know that, drinking 4 glasses of champagne might not be the best thing for me. I still do sometimes.
Yeah.
Right. And I still know that like I want pizza every once in a while. And I think the mindset game is really just understanding that nothing's off limits. One of my girlfriends, Erin Lotta, she is an intuitive eating coach. And I kind of always think about her because she always educates and says like, when you say that you can't have something, it makes you want it.
Right.
And if you really just listen to your body and figure, and after you ate, listen and say like, how do I feel? Then more people would start making those right decisions or those right choices to have the most energy, to feel the best, to live their best life. And that's what I kind of think everything is about. So whether it's mindset, whether it's your medical fitness programs, whether it's your fitness, whatever we do, everyone's just trying to live their best life. And so we have to educate people and help them get in the mindset to live their best life. Because there's always going to be the quick food right in front of your face, right? And sometimes it's about learning what the quick food is. I buy frozen food. Like I have frozen vegetables on hand all the time. And it's really about learning and educating on like how to have fast meals but what are the healthier fast meals? And then I think it becomes a whole country problem because all your healthy food is so much more expensive than your cheap food. Right. So, how can you make it more accessible? How can we make a bigger impact on some of the communities that can't afford to go to Whole Foods and buy that food? Like how, even if you know it, sometimes you just can't afford it. And so, even if you make all the right decisions to save your money, to buy your apples and your fruit and your vegetables and your proteins and your clean carbs, even if you make those decisions, sometimes you just can't afford it. And you make that decision. Like, do I buy organic? I have certain foods I know I'm always going to buy organic. And it was from a registered dietitian, talked about the dirty dozen. And it was like, hey, this is what, if you can't afford to eat everything organic, this is what you should always buy organic. And so I look at that, I can't always get the organic food. Sometimes my grocery bill would be $1,000.
Right.
So I think nutrition is a huge part of it, but I really think it's more of learning how to eat healthy with those fast options, how making those decisions to buy the instant food and listening to your body. Like, how do I feel after that? And then if I feel good, fine, it probably works for you. If you feel crappy after it, okay, then you should make a different decision. But I do think that it's always going to be there. Just like cigarettes are still around. It's 2021. We all know how bad they are. They're not going anywhere.
Right. That's an industry. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. And I like, I could follow the system that you're laying out there. It's just move more, eat better, and I'll feel healthier, and there's exercise, nutrition, mindset. It doesn't have to be perfect for it to work. And what you said earlier about dipping your Oreo into the peanut butter as your snack?
Yeah.
That'll catch up to you.
At the time.
Yeah. And that's some of it too. I mean, our brain starts to, produce the endorphins, goes, oh, that feels good, and I want to do it again. And then we pay the price later. So move more, eat better, and your mindset will, take care of itself after that because you're doing what's important to you and to your own personal health. So let me ask you the $1 million question then, Kate. If I had to fill in a blank, I choose fitness. Why?
So I personally choose fitness, and I would say I choose fitness over disease. My family, heart disease runs in my family, diabetes runs in my family, and I didn't grow up in this super healthy household. And so, I had those fast processed foods there. And but both of my grandfathers passed away by 60, of heart disease. And so I chose fitness when I was 17 years old. And I continue to choose it now because I don't want disease. Like, I still sometimes I love, she's my role model forever. But my mom was so lethargic, towards the end of life. And I kind of think of her sometimes of how unactive she was. She didn't really eat healthy. We had a great time. Don't get me wrong. She lived life to the fullest. We had the mashed potatoes with all the butter and all the sour cream and all the cream cheese in there, and they were good. But then, towards the end, she was just so much more lethargic and not as active and not living that same life. And so when you step back and look at it, she lived a great life and super, full of energy all the time until the end. And I don't want my end like that.
Right.
Whereas my husband's grandmother passed away, she literally passed away right before going golfing. And it was quick, it was done. And she was a great woman, super active, and you kind of look at the two and you're like, all right. I'm like, my mama might have had a few more parties. I don't know, but and she was a ball full of energy all the time. And that really kind of, inspired me to say, I choose fitness over disease. I think that if I just do a little bit, and I'm not some super macho person either, right. I'm active. I work out, probably 4 or 5 times a week. But I'll have my bad weeks where might not work out or only work out once. I try to make sure I at least get my walks in. But it's hard. You have kids, you have work, you're trying to make meals. Making those meals sometimes really does get in the way.
Yeah, you're right. Planning and organizing and shopping.
Yeah.
But no, that is really, that's powerful. Having the ability to choose fitness over disease means we don't know what the end is like. It could be 5 years. I mean, we have parents that are, they're lasting 10, 15 years, but they're really in bad shape for those 10, 15 years. Mm-hmm. They need help getting up in the morning and getting around because of their body breaking down and, the high blood pressure. They got a whole counter full of pills. And, it's powerful to realize we can make these decisions today. So our last 5 to 10 years aren't like that.
Yeah. I want to live life to the fullest to the end. And part of it, what we opened up was a med spa next to here. And it is about looking good, feeling good, and really feeling your best self all the time. And that just because we age doesn't mean that we, have to hold back or have to not look and feel or look as good as we feel on the inside. And so sometimes it's these little tweaks that we do. It's taking care of our skin, which is our largest organ. But ever since I started upgrading to medical grade skincare products, literally makes such a difference. And so now ever since I started doing that, and I just try to make sure I move. It's not necessarily that I'm trying to burn a certain amount of calories, but I'm doing it just for fun. I love to dance. So I just try to do as many Zumba classes as I can. I try to strength train with girlfriends because it's not my favorite thing to do, but when I'm out with my girlfriends, strength training. I always think one time Emmett Williams from My Zone was here and he was talking about the different pillars inside your club, and they probably mimic your community, right? You have your social butterfly, which I might relate to a little bit. And so do you have programs that will engage those social butterflies, right? Do you have social events? Do you hold them with fitness? Do you hold them without fitness? Then you have your lone wolf on the fitness floor where you they just want to be left alone, And so for those people, you motivate them by having the best equipment. It's always working. They don't want to ever have to be, it be dirty, or they want to have to wait for a treadmill, so that's how you're going to motivate them. And then you have your family things. And so you have your families there that are, do you have enough family activities, mommy and me classes? And, you kind of look at these different pillars within your club and making sure that you can motivate them and engage them and get them to keep coming. And so I always kind of look at fitness and nutrition and your mindset like that. That's how to approach somebody. It's finding out, what is their persona and how are we going to keep you educated? How do we help you get to your goals by just the stereotypical, I should say, ways that a, social butterfly wants to be engaged. I want to be introduced to a ton of people on the floor. somebody else wants nothing to do with anybody.
Right.
That's like their alone time. Don't talk to them. And that's okay, but it's really about like reading people and helping them what makes them live their best life, because everybody has different answers for that.
Right. And having it available for them too is a big part of what you guys do so well over there. There's something for everybody there, because we all do have different types of personalities, and we'll find where we fit in, and we'll gravitate to that. But having it all available is really important. And a lot of what you're talking about is, health and prevention and preventing bad health and preventing disease. What are your thoughts on being able to reverse some of these illnesses that people have?
Oh, I hope so, right? I mean, I do think that our partnership, so we still, even though we'll have a physician on site, or he won't necessarily be on site, but he's available to all of our members. I really think that the key to doing some of the reversal is really partnering with your healthcare systems. And it's not necessarily about, I think a lot of people go out and say like, oh, refer your patients into us and we'll take care of them. But I think more so when you actually show that you have, registered dietitians or health coaches and your outcomes that you can provide to the healthcare system, it all kind of has to come full circle. And I think it kind of goes back to that insurance too. If we could get our insurance companies to reimburse or to pay like our club and a lot of clubs that probably listen, or even any anyone in the community can really help with the fit bill. And the fit bill is out there to help use your pre-tax dollars to pay for not only your gym membership, but also, your kids to do activities. So your pre-tax dollars could pay for my son to play baseball or gymnastics, or, for me to buy a treadmill for my house. So I think that if we could get probably the whole country on board with that prevention is the way to go, and that you would save billions of dollars every year if we could change the habits, change the mindsets, and really help facilitate it, right? So if you can use pre-tax dollars to go to CVS to buy basically anything on that CVS coupon, like receipt. And so you should be able to utilize it to exercise. And so I think that until the insurance companies start changing their mindset, I think it's like a hard uphill battle. But the more close connections you can make, just like in your communities, the local physicians, the local cardiologists, the more you go and actually meet them, shake their hand, and like let them know the outcomes. And then I think the most important part of that is actually the follow-up. So as soon as you get that one cardiologist who I think it's easier to break into the orthopedics, because we have a lot of our orthopedics, once they're done their physical therapy, they still need more help. And so having that transition for like ACLs, we have like a return to play through our personal training team. We have Parisi Speed School. And so they have a return to play. But the most important part of that is that our director is consistently reaching out to that physician to showcase the outcomes. We send pictures, we send videos, we're saying like, hey, this is where we're taking your athlete. And so we've had a lot of our personal trainers do that with like this one client. I remember he got into an accident and his physician really didn't know like if he would walk again. He said there was a big chance he could, but it was going to be a long, long road. And one of our amazing trainers, Alex Reed, he's a rock star. And he worked with this guy, and he had him like up and about before a year was up. And it was like tears story. Every time you saw him come in, you were like, oh my goodness, like he's rolling himself in, like he's in his wheelchair by himself. He didn't have a partner. Then he could use a walker. I remember the first time I saw him in a walker, I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was before the year, but we have experts working for us. We have people who specialize in this. And I think that the more you get those stories out that we're not gym rats who just want you to lose weight to look good, like we change lives every day. And I think that the more connections and the more stories you can share, I honestly don't think I've ever met an operator or a team of people at a health club or at a gym or at an Orange Theory or at a Planet Fitness. Those employees care about you. Right. They're probably one of the number one things that we all hire for. And they're there to welcome you, and they're there to help you, work the equipment or just say hi. And I think that a lot of times people think that we're just there to, pressure you to look good or just to collect your dues every month.
Right.
And I don't know, that couldn't be it's probably far from the truth.
It really is
not the industry you get into to like make a buttload of money. So
right.
It's really an industry you go to because you care so much about, like, you love being healthy, you love feeling the way it makes you feel, and you want to give it back to other people. And no matter what, I feel like that's what we always hear from, all of our team members.
Yeah, when the pandemic hit, we were having calls every Monday with gym owners from around the country. We just opened it up.
Mm-hmm.
And these people were joining the call, and they were not talking about how much money stopped coming in. They weren't talking about how many membership dues canceled. They were talking about, how do we get these people some fitness while they're waiting for us to reopen? How can we keep their health up? Like, they really genuinely care about. And I don't know of any other industry that's like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw people.
We have 8,000 adult members. We called all 8,000 of them, every single one, to call them and say, like, hey, this is what we have available to you while you're home. We're not charging anything, but here's your online network. This is what we uploaded, a ton of content on YouTube in case some people had a hard time with the app because not everyone's technically savvy. We had all these different outlets for you to say, hey, this is what we got going on for you. This is how we're here to help. If you need anything, these are, the numbers to call while you're there. I mean, some people would just talk to you for like an hour because they had no one else to talk to.
Right.
And that's
what they know you care.
Do. Yeah, they knew us. So they were telling us all about their stories. And so I feel like that's how everybody is out there. The fitness industry is an amazing industry.
It drips down from the ownership too, because I saw the video your owner, Jim Worthington, put out there early COVID, and everything was shut down. Pennsylvania was really tough. That governor wasn't really too friendly to you guys.
No.
And Jim put that video out, and I watched it. I was pulled into it like, this is unbelievable. He poured his heart out, and obviously he built one of the nicest clubs in the world, and it was shut down, and they weren't allowed to open. And all he was talking about, what he was going to do for the members, and all the things ways that he figured out, taking loans against his own property to try and stay afloat, and keep employees around. Like, it was heart-wrenching to watch how much people care. And they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And it comes across, even listening to you, Kate. I mean, you could just tell you're the one cheerleading everybody's success over there,
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, and I always laughed when you said that, like, you're the director of the health and wellness or fitness and wellness. But I feel like I fell in and was able to, work with these experts because I'm a regular person, right? I'm the person who is scared to walk in. I'm the person who needs someone to call me and tell me that, like, come on, come meet me. My girlfriend, Tanya, who is, super motivated by exercise. She loves it. And so, she wanted to go to Rumble on Sunday, and Rumble's a boxing gym, like it's boxing and strength in the cities. And we went out on Saturday night, but she called me she texted me, and I called her and said, hey, we bought these passes, we're going, but like, because I had that date with a friend, I went. If I didn't, if I was going by myself, I would have been like, I'm just gonna sleep. Yeah. But like having that connection, I'm like your regular person. I need that friend. I need someone to say, like, come on, come in. It's okay. Like, you belong here too. And I think that really was able to help. I could help educate some other experts in the fitness industry who are personal trainers who feel like, I remember one of my friends was like, what do you mean? You just fit it in. You wake up every morning at 5 a.m. and you just go work out. And I'm like, well, one, I have a kid at home, so I can't just wake up at 5 a.m. and go work out and leave him at home. But two, I'm not as motivated as you. That is not how I work. I'm like, I will work until 2 a.m. because I love to work. But like waking up at 5 to go work out before my day starts, I wish that's just not me. And so I think that you have to find what works for you and understand that what works for you is probably not what works for everybody else, And I think that's more of the mindset thing, even for us as professionals, like in the fitness field. Just because I tell you to do something, think about your mom. Every time she told you to do something, clean your room. You didn't want to clean your room. You tell me to do something, I'm going to find 10 other things I could do.
This is incredible, Kate. We would, you have just keep proving the point that the mindset is everything. Even the story about, partnering up with your friend and giving yourself a commitment to go to, that's part of mindset. And when maybe your mindset's off, but you got a fitness buddy, that person's going to pull you through too. So you're borrowing someone else's mindset while yours is catching up.
Yeah. Well, what my girlfriend Erin was just saying, how like some of it is just like catching up, like saying, all right, I would say pre-planning, right? So this week, I know my week is going to be crazy. And I already know that without that commitment, without that friend, I won't be in the right mindset. So it's more about saying, all right, let me look at my week and finding who can I get to meet me at the gym or can meet me for my workouts, because I know that's what's going to get me there. And for someone else, it could be different, right? You might have to set your alarm for a different time. You might have to adjust your workout times because you're motivated by yourself. But I really think it's, sitting back and figuring out, like, if you want it, you're going to have to figure out how to get it and make a plan to get there.
What do you think the world would look like if fitness became a priority for everybody?
Hopefully we would all be happy, because exercise produces endorphins, and endorphins make us so happy.
We need more of that, don't we?
Have you ever seen the movie?
That's great.
Legally Blonde. But yeah, I mean, if we would have, more money for more things, because we wouldn't be spending it on disease and hospital bills, right? There's all sorts of different things. I mean, we have to give money to give back to different communities and help some of our lower income communities raise. And we really could do that if we could get fitness to, if our insurance companies weren't spending so much money on disease, we could give that money to lower income and help them exercise more, have better access to food, better access to education. I think that it could go anywhere.
Are you still running the charity Augie's Quest? Are you still, chairing that?
Yeah. So I did. I was just part of. They did an online. So I was through the NAC, but it was directly with Augie's Quest. So most of the time I'm on the Newtown Athletic Club's fundraising team, and then Linda Mitchell and Jim Worthington are on the Augie's Quest committees. And so during COVID, we ran an online run. And so I did something for the Fitness Business Podcast and did an advertisement for them, and then just helped to raise money. But we were actually just talking about it yesterday, of what our next fundraiser is going to be. So,
well, when you have it, we'll add the link to your page too. We'll make sure everybody knows about it too. So when we're using this as the replay, they can go back and click that link.
Oh, that'll be awesome. Yes, everyone. I think I always have a link that you can donate to. We have a nonprofit. It's called NAC Have a Heart, and so you can nachaveaheart.org. I can send you the link. And so we are always fundraising. And so we always have an Augie's Quest link in there. We fundraise for other things, but we always have an Augie's Quest fundraising button too. But we'll fundraise for local charities, or we'll have someone passed away from COVID. One of our members did, who was super active. So we did a spin-a-thon for him with his family. And so we do a lot of things like that throughout the year. So we use the nonprofit organization that our owner, Jim Worthington, founded to give back to the community. She's so long ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 10. Yeah. So someone was just laughing because one of the sports teams just put out a commercial about how much money they have donated to ALS research over the past 2 or 3 years. And, one of our members said, "Did you see that commercial?" I was like, I did. They're like, "I can't believe that, your owner independently has given more money to ALS research than the whole organization of this, professional team and baseball team." And I was like, I know. I'm like, just our club alone in the past, 2 years donated more. And, but you don't really look at it until you see someone not bragging, but celebrating,
they
how
put
much
it
they
out
were
there.
able to raise, and I was like, we need to celebrate how much we raise a little bit more.
That's it. And that's something to be proud of.
Cause. It is, I always say that's our biggest competitor, right? We try to build muscles and build strength, and freaking ALS just takes it away without anything, right? It's, not hereditary. They don't really know what causes it. And so that's your biggest competitor right there, is disease.
That's incredible. That's a powerful way. I don't want to take up all of your time here, so I did want to ask you one final question.
Sure.
There's somebody watching this, and maybe they're that person that's a little afraid, or they don't believe that this looks overwhelming to them. They're going to procrastinate their decision to choose fitness. They say, maybe not now. That's good for you, but not for me. What would you say to that person?
Oh, I would tell you to start small. Start one little goal. Walk around your block, right? So if you're just trying to choose fitness, you are just trying to get your body to move, and you want small little goals. And then once you hit that goal, make a new one. And actually one of my mentors in the industry, I think you interviewed him, Bill McBride. I used to be against these nutrition programs that would, have you juice or detox or eat special foods. And I was totally against it because I was like, you just have to learn how to eat. You have to learn how to go grocery shop, learn how to, prepare meals. And when someone does it for you, you're never going to learn how to do it on your own. And he said, yeah, but it's all about that mindset. He said that when you show someone that they can be successful in a little increment, right, in a short amount of time, they're more likely to come back the next week and continue on. And without that, they might not come back next week. And 9 times out of 10, they don't see some kind of result. And so when you set yourself up for hey, I'm going to join the gym, that might be super freaking scary for people. And that's okay. So if you are super sedentary, then you just want to set the example of, hey, I just want to walk around my block. If you're already walking, you're already running, you're already pretty active, but you need to go to the next level, then set that goal. And I really think you have to invest in yourself for you to utilize it, right? But go with a friend, find a gym that allows you to bring a friend. And when you have that friend, you have that partner, you're kind of coming in and doing it together. It makes it a little bit easier. But I really just think that the idea behind anything we do in life is to set a small goal, right? If you want to sell, I always say under promise and over deliver, right? So I might want to personally sell something. If I want to sell 10 packages this week, well, I'm going to tell everyone else, I'm going to tell myself that if I hit 5, I'm going to be happy. If I hit 10, I'm going to be ecstatic, right? Because 10 is probably, I'm not going to do it, but that's what I really want to do. So I just need to hit something so I keep on going to get to that goal, right? And so it's more of to me, doing the small things. Small things matter in life.
Yes.
It's always the little things that count. And when you add up all those little things, your life can really change.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm going to steal that too. I'm going to have that as my own.
The other way, right?
It is the small things.
Yeah, small things. Small things in life make a big difference.
Well, this has been eye-opening for me, Kate, really, because I thought we were going to spend a whole lot of time talking about the medical industry and getting them to talk to the physical fitness people over there. And the way you just unfolded it all and said, no, it's about mindset. It's about everyone will come together when we have the right mindset. When it's, I'm going to take care of me and I'm going to take these small steps to get better. Then I'm going to reach out and say, okay, I got there. I got that done. Now I need to get to the next level. I'll invest in myself and get a personal trainer. Or, I'll go 4 times a week instead of 3 times a week. So very, very helpful. Awesome. All right. Is there anything I forgot to ask you about what you've got going over at your location there?
I don't think so. I think we eventually got into everything. We're always doing fun things. So I'm sure, in a couple months we'll be launching some other new programs or doing something fun. But right now I think you got it. We're excited that our wellness center opened. And it's going pretty well. And we're hoping that it keeps on expanding. And we're really looking forward to really bridging that healthcare and health club gap that has been out there. I think that's our first step, but I do kind of think if we can all figure out how to get those insurance companies and employers to figure out how to work with us, that's really how we can kind of take everything to the next level.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, while you were talking, if I had 100 employees and was nearby you, I would say, Kate, you got to take control of this company for me, be in charge of them, get them all started, because I know what's going to happen. If I sent the 100 employees to you, they're going to work better. They're going to show up more. They're going to have less sick time. The expense of their paying for all or part of their insurance premiums are going to go way down. And then the insurance company that's underwriting this is going to love it because the claims are going to go away. Who wouldn't want to plug into that? You know?
Yeah. But it still will come back to mindset. It's still about, you can offer everything to your employees. Think about the reason why some people will give the big corporate discounts is when the employer will pay the whole thing. I'll give you 10 grand a month and then all my employees can utilize your gym.
Yep.
And we do it hands down because we know only 5 to 10% are going to come in.
Right.
And
that's awesome.
So we have to figure out, how you change their mindset, how you can find what motivates them. Do you have enough options? Do you have online programs? Do you have nutrition? Do you have walking programs? You kind of can't just say, here's access to my club anymore. That no one wants that. You need to be able to show outcomes and show those results. And I think that the more you can do that, the better off we'll all be.
Well, we're going to retire the old title you used to have, which was HR lady, and you're now the mindset queen. All right.
Perfect. I'm in.
Good. Well, Kate, I appreciate taking your time and you joining with us today. I'm sure everybody watching got a lot out of it.
Thank you. I so appreciate you inviting me in. I'm looking forward to watching all the interviews.
Yeah, it should be
Thanks
a lot
for
of
having
fun.
me. Yeah.
You're welcome. And maybe we'll get you on the live part when we go live as well.
Cool. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.